Come thrifting with me. Today I'm taking a trip to the 10-cent store. It is a little bit further away from me and it's not one that I make it to very often, but today I decided to make the trip. I do call it the 10-cent store, not because everything there is 10 cents, which people ask a lot, but there are items that are priced at 10 cents, which for a thrift store is amazing. For any store, it's amazing. Let's get to it. Right when I walked in the door, they had this free bin, which is right up my alley. And I loved this frame and mat. It will be a challenge to switch out the picture, but the frame and mat are worth it, and it's free. They do generally have Avon perfumes. They didn't on this day, but they did have some bagged trinkets. This bag in particular had a little gift box, a little red truck, and a little brass tea kettle. It was only $1 for all three, so I grabbed it. They also had this pewter figure set, which I really, really loved. There was a deer, a couple of raccoons in there, a little frog, such cute items, but I'm pretty sure that that is a 7. So for $7, I had to walk away. There was also this little pin, which I think is actually meant for Christmas, but either way, that's going to be a magnet on my fridge next year. And you'll see 25 cents for any of these glass pieces. This is why I have such a hard time not buying everything here. For instance, this tin that would be so cute at wintertime for Christmas and Valentine's Day was only 15 cents. I talked myself into it because I think it would be easy to store. Moving on into the knick-knack room, they did have this little trinket shelf or shadow box. I tried to open it at first, but it was taped shut. It was only $5, and what a great deal. It seems like I have a lot of followers that have a hard time finding shadow boxes, and so I'm going to leave this for someone else to enjoy. Moving on to the ribbons drawer, I did notice that they cleaned out a lot of their items recently, but I always want to scan them for some vintage ribbon. I didn't find any that I liked, but I did find this soccer ribbon for only 75 cents. My daughter is a cheerleader and makes locker tags, and so I thought that might work great for that. We'll see if she can use it. I also thought that it was just a beautiful candy jar. It was $5 though. A lot of you guys said the greenery looked like carrot stems, and this pick was only 10 cents, so it might be a future craft project. I'm going to see if I can't work it into my Easter decor. And here are 2 bunnies with red eyes. It has the kind of shining thing going on, you know, the twins. I didn't find any trinkets that I liked, but I did like this shelf. That was not for sale. And this bag, it's very vibrant, but it reminded me of my childhood. I really liked this guy, and I would really like to take him home, but I'm not sure what the artist was doing with his eyes. I wish I was crafty enough to fix it. I did leave him behind, but I did grab these egg candles. I have a couple of egg candles, but they're not half as cute as that, and they were 50 cents for 3, which is a great deal. The colors of this basket caught my eye. My daughter's room is this color pink with gold, and I thought it said $1, but that basket's only 10 cents. For 10 cents, I'm going to get it for her, and if she ends up not liking it, I'll donate it back. They also had this really neat $2 basket that had handles. It also looks like it probably had a lid at one point. I love the style, and you guys know I'm a container person, but I just don't have a use for it, so I talked myself out of it. Last Mother's Day, I was looking for plant containers like these and had the hardest time. So now that I'm seeing them and they were really cheap, I think it was $0.25 each, I decided to go ahead and grab that one. The second one felt a little cheap, so I decided to leave it. And this one, someone had added a yarn hanger on, so I decided to pass on that as well. They were selling it together. But this one, I loved this woven link hanger. I might have to keep it for myself, but I definitely knew I wanted to get it for only $1. I wanted this tan and the orange square placemat, but they were selling all 4 for 50 cents, so I thought I would go ahead and get them. I may be able to use the red ones during Christmas or Valentine's, so I'm going to go ahead and give them a try, and if I don't use them, I will just donate the other 2 colors back. I would have paid 50 cents for just one of them, honestly. A red Celtic knot hot pan holder? Absolutely. Again, 10 cents is crazy good. I also really liked this little hand towel. It would be so cute on the end of my island for Easter, but the more I looked at it, I'm pretty sure there was some yellow staining. If you notice, I almost grabbed this off the wall before looking at the price because it was an immediate yes for me. It was only $5, genuinely vintage, absolutely gorgeous. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. This is one of those items that are so good that I'll just figure out what I'm going to do with it later. I already have some ideas too, so stay tuned. In the frame area, you guys know I'm always looking for wood and gold frames. The ones that are both wood and gold are even better. I think that one was only 50 cents, as well as this bigger one. I need more 8x10s, and so I was happy to find that one. Ideally, though, I could find more 5x7s. I may have to just get a couple of mats for 5x7s. I don't mind ordering those online either because the frames are always such a good deal. I adored this sugar container, was ready to get it, but then it was $5, so I had to leave it behind. And yes, I did buy the frame for $5, but I wanted it more. So that's basically how I decide if I think it's too expensive or not. My sister would love that bowl, but she has a lot of that stuff, so I left it. I am not familiar with Tiddlywinks, but they have a vintage version for 20 cents, if you can believe it. Another vintage game, which looked like the same period of time, was this memory game. Original box, only 25 cents, and I don't even care if it has all the parts because not only am I going to play this with my son, but I might use some of these for refrigerator magnets. We'll see. I can't wait to go through it. They also had this really fun road trip bingo. Unfortunately, there was only one, but I think my son will really enjoy it for 5 cents. Even if he plays it just once and then we donate it, it's worth 5 cents. I rarely come in the toys area, but today I'm glad I did. Books were next, and I did see this I Spy book that my son and I like to look at together. Children's books were 25 cents, so well worth buying it so we can take our time looking. They also had this vintage domino set in here, which was really neat, but the box had seen better days. I apologize, I don't remember the price. They also had these unopened vintage cards for 50 cents, which I decided I'm going to go ahead and get for a giveaway. I have a lot of vintage cards and I just love them, and so hopefully someone else will like one too. As I went through the books, I did find this Fanny Flagg book. I have one, but it's really small, and this one was in better shape, so I'm going to get it and then switch it out. And again, here are the prices. Paperbacks were only 50 cents. And I got sidetracked by this awesome stool that they have in there. It's not for sale, but boy, do I want it. Moving on to the DVDs, we're looking at getting a new vehicle, so I'm trying to buy fewer DVDs for the van. But I don't have the holiday for myself. I'm watching indoors, not in the car. And DVDs are only 25 cents, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that for my Christmas viewing. And my kids could not love Grown Ups anymore. They watch it constantly, so I am going to get that for the van in the meantime. Then I was ready to check out.
A lot of stuff in here. $14.10.
Can you believe that huge basket of items was only $14.10? I'm always wondering why I don't make this trip more often. I truly cannot wait to put some of these items away, so come back soon to check it out.